The person that I knew that committed suicide was one of my good friends that I initially worked with, and through work we became friends, and we're friends for about 7 years.
Mandy was my younger cousin. She was younger by 9 months, so we grew up together. We done everything together.
I met Jay's dad when we worked in the bakery. All through my pregnancy, he was fantastic. He wasn't working at the time. He suffered depression, you see.
It was my sister-in-law, and I'd known her for, she was at school.
We always got on well, and he was good. He was enough. He could never make a decision, George. He didn't like to the choice.
His joke was he always allowed you to be his friend. It was in his terms you did it, so he's quite stubborn, which I think I'd kind of admire in him looking back.
Oh, he had a fantastic personality. I mean, we did have a really good relationship. After Jay was born, I was over the moon. You couldn't have seen it. Oh, he was so proud to walk along the street with the pram.
So she was tougher than me. I was quiet, and she was like rough and boisterous and a tomboy. And then growing up, she became a professional dancer, and she was amazing.
She was one of the people you knew, if you needed anything or you needed her, she'd be there.
He was a nice boy. He was good-hearted. Just sallied through and then decided to have a wee shot at the wacky. He started taking it every day with his pals. He was about 14. I didn't know anything about mental illness connected to it or anything. And then he went on to the jellies, but he was on kind of far away look in his eyes. Like he was there, the lights were on, but nobody was home. Never ever lifted his hand to me, but you always had the fear that it might have. We got me sectioned for 72 hours, and then it went for 28 days. Then they went for the 6-month section.
When we were younger, the three of us were actually sexually abused by the same person. She would just say to me that life was just too hard, and her anorexia was the only thing she felt she could control throughout her whole life.
To be honest, it was out of the blue. It seemed, and when we found out, it seemed completely out of character. My friend, who was probably the last person I thought would have considered suicide.
His friend got murdered one night and he was with him, but he'd walked on in front and a car stopped and seemingly 4 guys got out and stabbed him in the heart. And Robert never forgot that.
Like as if something was missing or something. It wasn't just, she wasn't just herself. I mean, people don't tell you, what's going on, really.
His doctor didn't help either, because his doctor put one an antidepressant in and gave it for 2 months. And then he went down to his doctor and his doctor took him off it like that. 3 weeks later he was dead.
To this day I still blame the blow. And I've argued with the best of them and I say I don't care what anybody says, but my George was fine till he started using that. And that's what started the schizophrenia, because I'd never heard of schizophrenia in my life before, and they said it causes suicidal thoughts.
I would look out for her and I'd be the one she'd come to for support.
I was the only one that took the time meal, and anybody had to go a went meal.
Waking up every morning wanting to die must have been totally horrendous, and I don't know how she coped with that.
Looking back now, I think there was a time when I maybe noticed something was wrong. And certain little traits were using things like social media. He had shut down accounts, wouldn't answer his phone, wouldn't respond to texts. And I did joke with a friend saying, oh, he doesn't do something stupid. And it seemed like a fleeting comment at the time, but just assuming that he wouldn't do anything such drastic as taking his own life.
She would be totally distraught, saying, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. And I'd be just saying, but you need to be here for Kieran. She'd go under 6 stone, and you're like, your body can't cope with that for years on end. So I think from that point of view we were surprised, if you like to call it that she lasted as long.
I didn't know she'd tried to do it before. I'd have went up and seen her more or something, done something.
He had tried a few times and he said, I can't even do myself in. He said, I've not got enough guts.
She actually hung herself. My niece got a hold of her and she brought her back, but she was actually brain dead. So she was in the hospital and it was just her heart that was keeping her going. There was nothing anybody could do. We were just waiting for her heart to give out.
He hung himself, as far as I'm aware.
Well, about 6 weeks leading up to her death, she was taking strong painkillers that weren't prescribed for her. But she was saying that she had voices in her head, and she actually overdosed the Sunday before she died and get rushed to hospital and was in intensive care for 3 days. Then they made me bring her home on the Thursday to say that they didn't have a bed for her to section her. And the Wayne came home from work on the Sunday night and found her dead in the bed. So she just overdosed again.
I blame myself in a way as well, because see if I didn't stand and speak to this person for about 15 minutes, I would have caught him, because I seen him at the window that day. And when I got up to the house, I was like shouting on him, "Robert, where are you?" And in the bedroom, and I never thought for a minute to get into the Wayne's room. And then when I went in, oh my God, it was horrible. He opened his eyes and I thought I'd caught him, so I ran for the biggest knife I could get. And I'm screaming, "No, you're not leaving us like this, you're not leaving it like this." And the child, she was in the sitting room in her pram. I climbed up the ladders and I held his body. I kept saying, "It's all right, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm not going to hurt you. Just slide down my leg, you'll be all right, you'll not hurt yourself." This is me talking to him, and all the time that I'm thinking that he's still alive. He wasn't, he was dead.
Phoned me 6 o'clock that night. I'm just phoning you to wish you a Happy New Year, man. Oh, I said, "Oh, Happy New Year, George. I said, "The Christmas presents," I see they were lying right there. I'll get them another day." I said, "All right, okay, pal, you okay? Are you coming up tomorrow?" I need to go to New Year, somebody shout me, right. Hung up the phone. That was the last I spoke to him. And then 10:30 Saturday morning, the door went and it was the police. They said that his son was found dead at the boat in the flats. I remember screaming, but I don't remember much after that.
I would get phone calls for Kieran every day anyway, so I was just expecting him to say something. Wasn't what I thought was going to happen, obviously. And he just phoned me and said, "That Audrey, she's dead."
It was my nephew that phoned me, and I was like, "How? Why?" But nobody can tell you why they done it. You've got an idea why they done it, but it still doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't make it right.
It was a good couple of weeks later before we got the keys to his house. We went up, it was just pitiful. I just didn't want to think that was the way my son had ended up. And then just before we were leaving, we packed all his stuff up and we opened the veranda door and there was 2 ropes hanging on the balcony. And the toilet, the bath was full of water. He was either going to drown himself or hang himself. But he'd opened the living room window and just went out the window.
It's like that night when I went up the stair to physically prove to myself that she was gone. I've just felt relief. And I lay there and I said to her, "You're not suffering anymore."
It's feeling a great sadness, it was so unexpected that a close friend would do that, but also anger. I don't know if anger towards him or anger towards myself.
I couldn't believe she'd actually done it, because she was one of the people that just got on with stuff, and it just doesn't make sense to me.
We got a phone call to say we were to go to the mortuary. It was dead peaceful, it wasn't anything that I thought it would be. It was calming, it was nice, and me and Anthony went in. Mick was meant to come, but he just couldn't handle it. And I said, "Oh, your hair's nice then. It's lovely." And I was talking to him, I said, "George, this is what I always wanted, but not this price. I wanted him to have the peace and the quiet and the mind free and all the demons away."
Before the funeral, it was like a kind of humanism I had, so it was nice being able to sit in here and talk about the good things about Mandy.
I don't remember a thing at the funeral.
I was really distressed at the funeral. I managed to get up and read her poem.
I don't remember much of the funeral. You're just going through the motions, and they didn't want me to walk down the hill behind the motor because I've got COPD. I done it, but I done it with grim determination because I went everywhere else with him. This was his last journey and I was seeing it to the end. And my mother brought me into the world, so I didn't want to see him before me, but I didn't have any choice in the matter, so I had to go through with it.
It was probably a space of maybe about a month that I really struggled. I was crying and it was like I'd been in the car and I had to actually stop the car because I couldn't see for tears.
And the doctor kept sedating me all the time. He just kept me, every time I'd wake up, he'd come round and just sedate me again.
Because then I was getting into the bit, I'm not really need to get washed, you know. And if I don't get washed, I don't really need to put my clothes on. So the days were all going into days and my pals getting me into a row and obviously they were worried about me.
angry and then you feel sorry for her and then you've got all these emotions.
For 40 years you've got this boy that you buy for and then all of a sudden you've no got him. I just felt, as I say, as if I'd lost one of my arms. I felt there was something missing but didn't know what it was.
We were relieved she was away, she wasn't struggling, because obviously every day was a struggle for her. But obviously I feel bad saying that because obviously she's not here. But I genuinely believe she's where she wanted to be.
Maybe it was the first few days, first few weeks was balling it up. That's when the disbelief kicked in. I think that's when I wasn't talking about it. I was just more tell people what happened, but then just everything runs through your head. I think you do become quite isolated within your head. And that's when you run through, could I have done something?
She didn't want to be here anymore, so she was determined to do it. So I think sometimes maybe she's better away than living here. You know what I mean? Sometimes life gets too much for people.
I feel I haven't physically grieved for Mandy yet. It's like, I think I've just had to cope, so that was what was going on at the time. It was like adrenaline, you had to do this. You had a 17-year-old to think about who now didn't have his mum. There wasn't time for me to actually grieve because I was too busy.
I think I just threw myself into my work, to be honest, at the time. I think I just kind of did that. It was just anything as a distraction. But I do remember just kind of thinking, just carry on as normal, try as much as possible, get to work, just keep moving forward.
When I found out that she'd actually done it, and then I found out that she'd actually tried it before, I was quite angry because nobody had told me. Because you could have tried to help her, you could at least have tried.
She chose to commit suicide and leave him, so I suppose I was angry at that.
I think it's just the anger at not knowing why. It wasn't a physical anger, it was more maybe a mental thing where you just kind of constantly ask yourself the question, could I have done something different, could I have stopped it? What if I'd been there that night? What if I'd made a phone call? What if I'd sent a text? What if? It's more the what ifs.
I was angry that she's left a 17-year-old without a mum. I'm angry because she thought of herself. All the time she didn't think of anybody else but herself. So I'm angry that she didn't take on the help because she had all the help that was going.
She never fulfilled her potential because she had the potential there to do things with her life and she never done it.
I think by talking to friends, it got it out. I think we all shared our anger. I think by actually saying to each other, look, why did this happen? Why would he do it? Because we're all the same. We all had the why.
Well, I think there's emotions afterwards as well that I was probably being a wee bit complacent with Mandy. Some things that she was wanting to talk about that I felt I didn't want to talk about at the time, and that was going back to her childhood. That was all she dwelt on at that point in time. And at that point, I wasn't ready to talk about it.
I think I still have that bit of guilt, but it's no longer as severe as it was. I think I beat myself up quite a lot. I think we all did. All our friends felt we could have maybe done something more, but again, he was the last person you would have assumed that would commit suicide.
I just wish she would have spoke to me or even spoke to anybody.
You knew it was going to happen because that's what she wanted to do. But then you're trying to convince yourself then, like, well, if you knew she was like that, how did you know stay with her 24/7? But that wasn't practical either. So you can't beat yourself up for that.
Well, we don't know why he did it. We've never had that, maybe had that closure.
It's not your fault or anybody's fault. If they're determined to do it, I don't think anybody can stop them.
To be honest with you, if I didn't have Jay, I wouldn't have been here. But she is a wee rock for me, so she is. Don't get me wrong, I have thought about it. And I have tried it.
What would have been her 40th birthday was her first, and that was only like 6 weeks after she died. And it was important for us, for Kieran, to still celebrate her 40th. So what we did was my mum, my aunt, myself took Kieran up to the graveside. We took flowers and balloons, and that night we come back up and with my dad, my sister, my nieces, and we lit the lanterns, now the sky lanterns. And that was good for Kieran because we weren't, although she wasn't here, we were still celebrating what would have been her 40th birthday.
January, as I say, was George's first anniversary, so I was really at rock bottom, and I was panicking, I was taking anxiety attacks.
I would probably say Mother's Day for Kieran's been the hardest.
Maybe next year's second anniversary I might maybe have moved on, maybe another wee bit. But I have moved on to the year, yeah, but it's been a long year.
We meet up each year, especially round about the anniversary of his death.
It will get better. You will be able to talk about them and have a laugh about them and things like that again.
I think that's the thing at the beginning. I think people, maybe personally, why I kind of went through things in my head was because there was a kind of shame factor. And there should never be ashamed for what he's done. My opinion was if someone committed suicide, it was a kind of, I don't like using this word now, but I think back then it was cowardly. It was an easy way out for someone to get that low. It seemed like a cowardly act. And I think it's completely changed now. I don't see it as a cowardly act. I think it must be one of the hardest things to do, to consider taking your own life when you're that low.
I think there's a stigma through talking about suicide.
I don't condone what he's done. In a weird way, maybe I respect his decision, which might sound really odd, but I don't see it as a cowardly thing to do now. That's the option that he felt was best suited for him. And it was really awkward to begin with. I think we felt it was almost like the elephant in the room. Do we talk about it? Do we not talk about it?
I just couldn't be in a crowd of people. I wouldn't sit in among them because I was frightened in case anybody asked me any questions.
I've got more time now for someone if someone says they're thinking about, even as a flippant comment saying, oh, I've had enough kind of thing, or I'm just aware of more triggers in people now.
I think you think more about other people. I think you tend to listen to other people more and not just dismiss them.
You know someone that's thinking about committing suicide, talk to them, get people to talk and open up about it. Because one of my biggest regrets is I couldn't get my friend to talk about it. I noticed something was up and I never broached the subject with them. And I had plenty of time to do it.
I just hope anybody out there, if it feels that way, please don't do it, just go and get help first.
We've coped with it because we're such a close group. We use humour a lot to deal with it. We use it to support each other. I'd recommend that for anyone that experiences bereavement for someone that's taken their own life, is to actually talk about it. There's no shame.
And Andy was trying to hold it back, and I said, Anthony, you take us a better person than the go, pal. All that tripe about men don't greet, no, that's a load of nonsense. Especially suicide, it's a taboo subject. Blokes don't like talking about feelings in general. They want to be the kind of alpha male, the dominant male. And it doesn't make you any less of a man or less of a person. Open up, and getting upset and getting it off your shoulders can be the best thing that you can do. Before I thought as well, if someone was maybe contemplating suicide, you could always talk them out of it. I think I realise now that maybe you can talk to them and help them, support them, but at the end of the day, it's their decision. People say, I know how you feel, but you know they're being kind, but they don't really, because they haven't really been in your place.
Obviously you might not be able to talk about that to people in your family, whereas outsiders it's different to talk to because they're not emotionally involved with you. It's best to talk about it and get upset than bottle everything up and kind of not try and move on.
I think talking to a stranger is better because they've no illusions of what she was like or what you're like or anything else, so you can say what you want to say.
You just talk about everything, and it's somebody you don't know and they don't know George and the rest of the family, and you just say what you feel, and you know nobody's going to take it back, you know. Trained individuals can help you deal with it, can actually ask you the question, talk to you about it, and get you to open up and seek the right support for it. And the help is there if you want to put your hand out and take it. You just have to ask.
So I think that's quite difficult for anybody that's lost somebody. How do you carry on without them? So you need to know it's okay to go on with your life. That person really wanted you to go on with your life, but it's difficult at the time to see past that. But just to know that it is okay to get up and get dressed in the morning and go on with your day without feeling bad for being able to do it.
Don't give up in the fight and keep going. Although they've lost that person, then they've still got to go on and live every day as it comes and take it as it comes. Don't knuckle under. I was starting to knuckle under and give up. It was easier. Now I've got my determination up again. I've got my guts back. I felt as if I'd just given up. I thought, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not giving up. I'm stronger. I've come out stronger.
You're a long time dead, aren't you? So you may as well enjoy yourself while you're here.
We celebrate him. We don't want to grieve him anymore. We want to remember him as being an excellent friend.
And it's just say to George, this isn't what I wanted. You've got the peace and the quiet, all the demons have left you, you've caught all your rainbows, but it was still too high a price for a mother to pay. I'll take it in my shoulders and say, I know he's all right. He's no wandering the streets and nobody can hurt him. And one day he'll be waiting to meet me when it's my turn, and hopefully I'll welcome me with open arms.
Just that I'm proud of Kieran, probably proud of myself for what I have done. And just, Mandy, I miss you and I love you. I know myself, she'll be happy. But I think there is a heaven, she's up there, she's happy.
I don't want to lose him, I don't want it to be away. I know he's run about me. And I would say to him, don't think that you've not lost them, they've just moved on. You know, you'll never forget them because your memories are on your heart. And you take them wherever you go.